All right, Mulligans and Hackers Golf podcast episode number who knows? The Ironman recap.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
this was our first year playing in the Ironman tournament out at Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club.
We had heard the rumors of this tournament in the past few years about how difficult this tournament can be, hence the Ironman.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those of you guys unfamiliar with the Ironman, it's kind of a combination of like a greenskeeper's revenge and making it kind of as difficult as possible. So essentially what they did is they put back the tee boxes as far back and in some ridiculous spots on some of the holes.
Yes.
And then the pins were almost all on a hill. So, like, if you didn't sink your putt, it was coming back,
Not
or
necessarily
worse.
at the top of the hill either, on
No.
the side of the hill.
That's right. So you had to make the putt, or otherwise the ball wouldn't stop. I think there was one hole where there was kind of a gimmicky little, like, the hole was the size of a ball.
That was the par 3, right?
Yeah, the number 14.
14.
And then other than that, it was there's some interesting tee-off locations. They made it as tough as possible. So we had to tee off from the blues.
So, 4-man scramble.
Four-person
scramble.
Four-person scramble.
And it's beneficial if you have a
lady or someone over 65.
Because they tee off not from the ladies' tee boxes, but a tee box back the yellows.
Yeah, the yellows.
So it's more it's difficult for them as well, but they don't get the ridiculous tee placements that the men do.
Correct. So we played so we get the blues, which is the furthest back and further back than normal.
Yes.
Like way further back than normal in a lot of holes.
So we recruited
Darren and Megan.
Again, a guy who's been on the Mulligans and Hackers tour a few times, has a couple of wins. Darren and his fiancee Megan, who was we played probably about half a dozen rounds with her this year.
Yeah, I think so. Something
really
like that.
good off the tee box.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, as soon as we were talking about it, I said,
So-
I got the perfect group we can get. We just got to get Darren and Megan.
So we had decided that we were going to do this Ironman tournament and try to cobble together a team. And Chris just looks at me and goes, well, we need Megan on the team. I said, well, if we get Megan, we may as well throw Darren in there as well. Get him on the team, kind of as a filler spot, because we really needed Megan. And so that was the 4-person scramble we went with. I think we had a really good mix. You and I do good in scrambles anyways.
Yeah.
Just because I find the fairway you're good at approaching and your putting is.
Yep.
I'm really good at the sand. So we have that multiple aspect there. So
that
you and I were going to cover for each other, and Megan was going to bail us out of some tee situations, and Darren was just kind of going to
ride along
and fill that role.
So we get there, and Alvin and I dropped the ball that day because we weren't wearing any Mulligans and Hackers.
Yes. So we show up in some fancy golf shirts from Mickelson National. I was wearing my Mickelson National.
I think I was as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Darren and Megan are both wearing Mulligans and Hackers shirts, and we're like, well, we kind of dropped the ball there. As I really appreciate them representing, but two guys that run the Mulligans and Hackers social media podcast golf tour, we dropped the ball big time, and we were working on getting Mulligans and Hackers shirts down there for the tournament, but I kind of felt it was like, the hell with it, let's just go. But I appreciate Megan and Darren repping.
Absolutely. Sure. So the format was 4-person scramble. You have to take 3 drives from everybody, which incredibly important, right? Like 3 drives from everybody, and the maximum amount of putts that you could take on a hole was 4. So once everybody 4 putted, you picked up your ball and you carried on. So if you're on in 2, you take a 6.
So the 3 drives from everybody is going to come down the road here when we start talking about drives off the tee box, because me being a guy who hits the fairway a lot, I was like, well, I'm good. My 3 drives we won't have to really work on.
Yeah, mine would be in question for sure, because I'm struggling with the big stick.
So as we were going, I was kind of like, Chris, what holes are we going to get your drives in on? Because you're spray and pray kind of off the tee box, right?
Yep.
But we'll get back to that after in a little bit.
So everybody showed up. I think it was 11 a.m. 11 a.m. start.
Yep.
Yeah, 11 a.m. shotgun. We started on hole 17. We were 17A.
Par 4.
No, par 5. 17 is a par 5.
Long par 5.
Yeah. 400. Well, it was like 500 and some odd yards. That one was, and from the blues or whatever. Anyways, so I think I sprayed a tee shot out to the right. Darren, I don't know what he did. Megan's was kind of straight up the middle, and yours was up the middle, but yours was out there at a length that I think we took yours, right?
Yes, we did take mine off. So again, starting off, get my first tee out of the way. I'm like, oh well, I only need 2 after this. I'm in shape for getting my 3 in early.
Yep.
Right.
So we took that one. We get up there. I think you were Darren hit a really nice ball up the middle and put us in good shape to go at it in 3.
We were on in 3, right?
We were on in 3, but I grabbed 3-wood from where we were, and I never hit 3-wood, right? Like in a normal round, I'm just not comfortable with that club. Like if I can get comfortable with that club, it can just unlock a whole nother level to my game. But
your bag kind of everything in your, we'll say, hybrids, irons down to your wedges is money game.
Yeah. Anything above that is questionable. When you start getting into
your 5-wood, 3-wood, and driver, if you're having an on day, it can help. If you're not feeling it, that's a real hindrance to your game.
Absolutely. So I mean, you guys have put one safe, so I grabbed my 3-wood, and I'm like, well, we're about 3-wood range. Let me just reef on one and see if we can get one out there. Just kind of because we had to kind of draw it around the tree anyways.
Yep.
So I hit mine, and I ended up actually right in the bunker, right beside the green. So if I'm not mistaken, we took that ball. We proceeded to hit 4 sand shots, 3 of them which were absolutely atrocious, and then Alvin hit a nice sand shot out, which was good. And then I believe we 3-putted for a bogey.
We did 3-putt for a bogey on that one, yes.
So auspicious start.
Again, taking a bogey on the first hole, we did come off that hole saying, I think we left one, we should have parred that.
Because we had a chance at par big time.
So taking a bogey on the first hole is kind of a stinger, but
yeah, that
is what it is. I mean, it's the tournament, right? I mean, you're not getting any gimmies on the green today, on this day, so.
No. So then we go to 18, which is a par 4 dogleg left. And I think you laid one out there nicely. Megan laid one out there nicely, allowed Darren and I to go for it. And if I'm not mistaken, we ended up taking my drive because I put it I want to say 65, 70 yards from the front of the green. Yep. Like I hit a bomb. Yep. And it put us in really good shape.
That's your first bomb of the day.
Yes. Yeah. So then we get up there, we hit a couple of approach shots. We end up, our strategy all day was to be below the hole.
Be below the hole. Every time, be below the hole.
Because you obviously didn't want a downhill putt, right?
Because again, I know you can't visualize it here, but if you're downhill putting, you're basically when your putt stops, you're going to be chipping back on.
That's right.
Because of where these pins were. So the strategy was be below the hole.
That's right. Yep. So we were below the hole, and then I think Darren or Megan putted first, and then I think you putted, and then Darren putted, and I got 3 looks at it, and then if I'm not mistaken, because I missed my par putt on the last hole, and I was pissed about it, and I stepped up and I drained a nice birdie for us. Yep. So we got back to even par right away.
So again, start with a bogey, next hole erase it with a birdie, and we're back to square after the first 2.
Yep. So then we're off to number 1. Which, we know it's a long par 5. It's always a long par 5. That one, you can't really make that one longer because it's as long as possible from the blues already. So it's standard blues distance of 560. They put the tee boxes back a little bit. You hit your drive up the middle. Darren tried to swing for his. I get up there and I absolutely lace one down the center, probably 45 yards longer than your drive because I was just pounding it. And Megan went and hit hers. We ended up taking another one of mine on that one. We ended up getting on in 3.
Yeah, I hit a really good second shot on that one. That 3-wood.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you put us just in the front, right?
Yeah, I hit the slope down and just ran right up.
Yes,
in front of the green.
That's right. And then we ended up getting on in 3, and then I think we took 2 putts to make the par because that one that pin wasn't super as far as difficulty goes compared to the rest of them. That one wasn't crazy.
The green only slopes in that one. There's no tiers and no severe undulation.
Yeah. So that was difficult, but not crazy difficult, right?
We made that one. We made that par.
So we made that par. Then we get off to number 2. So number 2 usually have to drive back up the hill and off to the tee box. Well, Megan had to do that to get to the yellows. Well, the blues for this event are actually to the right, and to the right where there's nothing of the first green.
It's literally a manufactured tee box for that day. Then you have to hit over the entire coulee,
which is awesome.
So
it's actually a really cool look. I think it's like 265 to carry. Yeah,
carry
something like that.
So I had no chance of carrying this because I don't carry a driver 265. I mean, I don't even hit the ball 265 with my driver, only on rare occasions. So I was angling my shot towards the tree in kind of the middle of the, but I think I cleared.
Yeah, you cleared.
I cleared, but it was in the fescule.
You cleared. We couldn't find your ball.
We weren't going to go out there and really look for it.
And I totally overtopped one. It was just horrendous. Put it into the side. So we looked at Darren, and I'm like, well, Darren, we need your driver.
And again,
you got to hit one here.
Megan put one down to the left out in the tree, so that one wasn't really good. And Darren absolutely flush crushed a drive that put us literally like 7 feet off the front of the green.
Yeah, it was in a really good spot right in front. We chipped on, and I think we 2-putted for par.
Yep.
So again, through 4 holes, we're sitting at par, and we're thinking, wow, I think we're off to a good start here. Like, this is good.
Yeah, again, other than, that bogey on the first hole, there's no damage here, and hover around that even par mark, right?
That's right.
That's kind of where we really wanted to be.
Yep, that's right. So then we get to number 3, which is a long par 5. And they made it
straight as an arrow, though.
They made it longer.
They did make it longer, yes.
They made it longer. So I think both you and I hit the fucking tree on the left, if I'm not mistaken. You remember?
Yes.
We did not hit good balls in that one.
We did not. We did.
Megan hit an okay ball, and I think we took another one at Darren's drives because he actually hit a really good ball there.
Yep.
And then,
which was rare.
Yeah, right. So then,
sorry, Darren.
I think we ended up on in 3. We were on in 3.
On in 3, yeah.
And then we ended up getting a 2-putt par as well.
Because again, for us, like you, me, and we'll even throw Darren in that mix. Like if we get it, we hit a decent second shot that puts us in iron range. Well, if we're getting 3 looks, you, me, and Darren, and even Megan are getting 3 looks at a 120, 130 yard, we're hitting the green. Someone's
one like 25% of us for sure is going to be able to make it, right? So we hit the green, we make par. So through the first 3, we're par. So 4, which is a long par 4, and they move the tee boxes even further back up top. So, and they put the pin on the far right.
Number 4, that's a par 3, isn't it?
Yeah. So they put the pin on the far right, just before the top of the slope of the green. We're watching the group in front of us, and we watch the group in front of them 4-putt. We watch them.
And again, when we say 4-putt, that's 4 people 4-putting.
Yeah, so 16 putt, I guess.
16 putts.
Technically. And then, so we watch them do that. Then we watch the next group in front of us, and I think Buddy made a bogey or something. He made a really good second putt, and they made a bogey.
Yeah.
So then, I think, I hit last all day. So I think you hit a ball.
I hit the green with a 5-wood.
Yeah, you put it on.
Yeah.
I want to say Darren was off to the left of the green.
Yeah.
He was high. And then I took mine, and I had a 7-iron. And I curled it a little bit into the left side, just over the sand trap. For those of you that don't know, on this hole, everything slopes back right. So I hit it over the sand trap, kind of into the hill, kicks back right, and ends up as the KP for that point at that moment. Still right?
Relatively early in the day, but it was KP.
Yeah, I mean it was a really good shot.
On our YouTube channel, I have a play this hole with me number 4.
Yeah.
Of that par 3, so you can actually, if you go on our YouTube channel and look at this hole number 4, you can see if you play it out to the left, there's a hill. If you make it over that, there's green behind there, and everything slopes
back towards the right,
the right of this green. So there is a video of it on our YouTube page if you want to check it out.
Yeah, so we ended up there. We just missed our birdie, and it would put us right back in the same spot we were basically in before.
Yeah.
And then, so we had another couple looks at it, and then we made our par.
Yeah.
So walked off that one with a par. 5, we get out there, long tee boxes back. I think you hit a really good drive.
And this hole, like when we get into the 4, 5, and 6, and even 7. These are what we call our scoring holes. But boy, they were not scoring for us. Not for me that day anyways, because the tees were so long that, like, I would hit good drives, but they're so far back.
Yeah, you hit a good drive. I can't remember what Darren and Megan did. I want to say Megan hit a decent drive, but we weren't really worried about getting her drives in yet because we had them strategically for certain holes, right?
Yeah.
So I went back there and I fucking crushed another one. Like when I tell you my driver was working that day.
So early on in the podcast here, we talked about his, worrying about getting his spray and pray drives in. This guy was flushing that driver all day. And when he hits his driver straight, we're talking 280, 290.
Average. Yeah.
Average.
It's sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower, yeah.
Right? And it's unfortunate that he can't pull this out of the bag all the time because, he would be at a different level of golf. But, like, on this day, he had it.
It seems like scrambles bring out the best in me.
And we got to a point where we're like, well, geez, Alf, we have to take your drive somewhere here down the road, right? Because we weren't taking my drives because they weren't long enough, right?
Yep.
And we were taking yours because you were just blasting it past everybody straight.
Well, and it wasn't just past. It was like 25, 30, 40 yards longer, right? And it's like, well, we'd be stupid not to take that ball.
Well, yeah. And because, again, if we weren't taking yours, we were taking mine, well, we were adding 60, 70 yards. Or we were taking a ball out of position.
That's right.
Which you weren't going to do in this tournament anyway.
That's right. So anyways, I blasted one up. We took mine there. We put it on in 2. And then this one was probably the most lethal hole on the entire course that day.
Yes. There was a lot. We watching groups 16 putt this. Everybody
both groups in front of us 16 putted this hole. And then we get up there and we I hit 2 putts that literally went up to the hole, looked like they were going in, hit the brakes on, and then came rolling backwards.
We were within like half an inch of a birdie twice on that hole.
Oh my god! And we ended up.
And again, if you didn't make the hole, it was coming right back to your feet.
Or worse.
Or worse.
So we ended up 16 putting that puppy and ended up with a double bogey.
That was our
first double of the day.
First double of the day, and again our first 4 putt. And again on that hole, even if we were taking our double, there wasn't too many groups gaining strokes on us on that hole.
No, but there was I think the group that ended up winning, I think, birdied that one apparently. I say apparently because I questioned some of that, but we'll just go with that. So then we get to hole 6, which is a dogleg left, but they put the tee boxes way back, halfway down the fairway of number 5 on the hills. So like us as guys, it all of a sudden became like a 420 yard
par 4.
And I'm like, this is a hole we need Megan's drive on because she gets the tee off from the yellows where they normally are, which is in a good spot. And I'm like, I don't think any of us, no matter how well we can hit it, gets it past there.
Well, I could flush my driver and hit it, my max of 260, 265. I don't even think I was getting to the fairway.
I hit mine. I crushed my driver again. And I hit it to just outside the 150. And then I'm like, well, that's a pretty good spot. If nothing else happens. She gets up to the yellows and puts us like 100 yards out. I'm like, yeah, that's why you're here. And we're taking that. Yeah.
She proved her worth throughout the day.
Oh, 100%. So then we did we make it on in 2? I want to say we made it on in 2 and we 3-putted that one.
Yeah, because that was a bogey, right?
Yeah, and we bogeyed that one. And then 7, Darren hit an absolute missile.
Oh, that was the par 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had an absolute missile that ended up just sitting, like it defied gravity and like sat on the ledge of the hill and ended up being the KP. And that held up all day. He won the KP.
All day. He won the KP for that hole, yeah.
The funnier part of this is, so Megan was our first putter. Well, she steps up there and she drains the putt. So it was a couple's hole. It had nothing to do with Alvin and I. We didn't even contribute in that hole.
Yeah, Darren's KP held up all day. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But again, because it defied gravity, it just sat on a hill and didn't move.
But we needed that birdie. So that brought us back to 2 over at that time.
Was it?
Yeah,
we were double bogey and
a bogey, and then we were 2 over. So then we get to 8, which the Blues are pretty far back, and we're back. This is the dogleg left, second hardest hole in the golf course. Darren tried to crush his. You tried to crush yours. I step up. I lace another one straight up there inside the 150. I thought we might use Megan's on that one, but we didn't because I hit a really, really good drive. And then we were on in 2, and then Megan putted first, and we were like, I want to say like 30 feet, maybe 35 feet to the right of the pin, and it was a right left breaker, and it was downhill. So like we were like in line with the pin, but we kind of had to go right to left at it. And if you missed, you're going down, and we're going to be off the front. So Megan did hers, and then I think you stepped up next, and you hit your putt. And I remember watching it leave the putter face, and I'm like, well, the line looks really, really good. But if that doesn't hit the hole, that's going to be a mile off the front of the green. And sure enough, it just goes, meep, drops. And we made a lot of noise on that one because that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, we did that because that was...
I think that's the longest putt you've ever made.
Well, as long as... made a longer one than that yesterday. But but that was... in that tournament, that was my biggest putting contribution, was on that hole. And it was just a big banana curl.
Oh, it's a tough putt to make.
Yeah.
Everything had to just go right on it.
Yeah, we did make a lot of noise on that hole, didn't we?
We did. We were pretty excited about that one. So back-to-back birdies brings us back to 1 over, which was awesome. So then 9, we get out there, lace a couple drives. I hit a really good drive. I think we ended up taking Alvin's though there. And then we're on in 2 again. We 3-putted for a bogey because that pin was kind of in a dickish spot, kind of back left corner in the top. It was really hard to get the pin.
I think the entire day when we got up to the greens and we got out of the carts, every single pin for the entire day you went, wow, that's a dick pin. every one. And it was like, dude, it's the Ironman tournament. Every pin is going to be a dick pin.
Fair enough.
But you just had to say it out loud.
Yeah, fair enough. So 10, if I'm not mistaken, 10, we took Megan's drive. Yes. Because she got to tee off from the yellows on the other side of the water and hit a really good ball. I think she left us like just beside the green or something like that.
Well, I think she left us because we were way
it was like 75, 80 yards left or something like that.
150.
Yeah,
it was a good drive.
And we chipped on and then 2-putted for a par, I believe.
Yeah, and
that's a good hole to par.
That's a good hole to par because that whole green slopes to the front and there's 2 tiers.
Yes, yeah. So we made a good putt there. 11. Oh, 11, we took my drive again, and then it's like we pounded it up there.
That's a par 5 as well.
Yeah, we hit a couple really nice second shots, hit a couple nice third shots. The pin for this one was on the back left, like in the first cut of the green. Like it was a really weird spot. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, it's not really a difficult location per se, unless you pound it past the hole. Then you're off the side of the green. So,
oh yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, so we were on, and then we ended up, we cozied it up there with 1, and then a couple of us were a little more aggressive, trying to get it as close as we could. But we cozied 1 up there more or less, and then we made the second putt to par it. So that was good. And then we went to 12, and
the tee boxes were way back on that one.
Yes. Did we take Megan's drive on that one too?
We might have, yeah.
Yeah, because she would have had a big advantage of us on that one. I can't remember. We took like 4 of her drives, I think, and I think we took 4 of hers. We took 6 of mine. Which is
absolutely crazy that we were able to take 6 of yours.
We took 6 of mine. 4 of Megan's, 4 of yours, 6 of mine. No, 5 of yours, and 3. Darren only ended up contributing 3. So
well, we got his 3 in.
Yeah. So, anyways, we get to 12, and whoever's drive we took, we get on, and if I'm not mistaken, did I make that birdie putt?
Yeah, because that was a relatively long one, and that was on like the backside of that ridge.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I made a nice. I just made a nice double breaker.
You did because you watched all 3 of us putt.
Yeah.
And you had the line, and you got the pace, and it just curled its way down over that hill. Because again, that pin was on the back side of that hill.
That's right, because it went like this the first way, and then this way the second way, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of a double breaker. That's kind of a nasty one. But we made that one, so we birdied. So then we're back to think we're 1, 2, 3. So we're 1 over. We're back to 1 over.
Back to 1 over. With how many holes to play now?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm.
So then we go to 13. And we're way back there again.
13 is a
water on the left, out of B, OB on the right.
right.
Pretty sure this was another one where we took Megan's drive.
Yeah, I think so because she put it up there just to the right of the 150 marker.
That's right. Yeah, and then we put it on in 2, and then it was kind of a front. I think it was a front pin, right? It was a greasy fucking front pin.
You say that. Well, of course it was a fucking greasy
Well, the greasy front pin was there today too when we played our round. So yeah, we 2-putted that puppy, got a par, got the hell out of there. So 14, 14. I want to say you hit a really good ball on that one
because that was the par 3.
Yeah, I think you hit. I think you hit. It went straight.
I think I hit the 3-wood off that tee.
That's right, and it bounced like 4 times, and then it rolled up, and I think it left us like.
But that was the hole that had the.
That had only the golf ball size hole. Like the pin was there, and you thought the pin was there, but it wasn't. It was just in the ground.
Yeah, it was just in the ground.
And you're like, oh, where's the hole? I'm like, what's the gimmick here?
We were literally cup high, off to the right.
Yeah,
and that was I had to hit a 3-wood to get it there, but. And then we're going up, and I was like, well, what the hell is this? Like, the flag is literally in the green. And we walk over, and the cup is literally like 3 inches. Maybe a 3-inch cup. Maybe a 2.5-inch cup.
Baby cup. Just enough for a ball.
Just enough for a ball.
So we kind of cozied up 1 putt, and then we tried to make it on the next couple, and then tapped in for par, and moving on.
And got out of that one.
So then we're on to 15, which is the long par 4.
The longest hole on the course normally.
That's not a par 5.
That's not a par 5. Dog leg left.
Yeah. So we took Megan's drive here too. And we kind of butchered that one a little bit.
It's just a tough hole.
We got on in 4. It took us 4 to get on. And we had 2 looks. One was below the hole, but it was quite a long putt, and we had to go up and in. And the other one was kind of above the hole, but it was like 4.5 feet, but it was downhill.
But it was relatively straight.
Relatively, and I'm like, we got like 3 holes left, or 2 holes left. I was like, we got to be aggressive here. Like, we cannot afford nothing other than like a bogey if we want to remain in this.
That's exactly what we said. We said, well, we have to be aggressive if we want to, get back to even par, right?
Yeah. So Megan stepped up, made her putt. Darren stepped up, made his putt. You stepped up, made your putt. I got 3 different looks at it, and all 3 of them did something different. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna try and drip this over the edge and just hopefully go in. So I just get up there behind it. I putt, just creeps over, drops in the cup, dead silence, just picks up the ball, starts walking to the cart.
Yeah.
That's what I'm usually there for in a scramble team.
And literally, there was silence going back to the carts on that hole.
We're like, yeah, okay, we got that one. We're good. Yeah. So then 16, we end up, I want to say we ended up on. We ended up on.
That was par 3, yeah.
Yeah, we ended up on. And it took us 3 looks at it to get it dropped. And I was the last guy on the 3rd look, and I drifted in to make our bogey.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, that's big.
Because again, there's a big ridge in the middle of that green, and that pin was on the back side of that hill as well.
Correct. You couldn't even see where it was.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, I mean, we looked at our score and we're like 3 over. Like, I was like, I feel pretty good about that.
I was happy with that.
That's pretty damn good, I think. So we ended up, we were in the 4th flight. I think we were in the bottom flight or whatever. I don't know what happened with handicaps or whatever. I really wasn't paying attention at the dinner when we were eating.
Great meal too, by the way.
Yes, as always. I mean, as always, really good. But so anyways, we ended up shooting 3 over, and we finished 2nd in our flight.
Yes.
And what did the guys ahead of us shoot? 2 over or something? I think the guys in our flight, the winning score.
It was the 4 lady team.
No, they won with the handicap.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they won with the handicap. But as for gross, They weren't first. There was a different group that was ahead of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by 1 stroke.
Huh.
So we ended up shooting plus 3. I think the one group in front of us shot plus 2, and I'm like, well, I'm happy with that. So we got $60 gift cards.
Yeah. So I mean, again, second place on our flight. I'll take it all day.
Oh, absolutely.
For our first opportunity at this Ironman tournament.
How much was it for us to play in that tournament? $40, $45.
Yeah.
So we made money.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Even with the dinner, we made money.
It's awesome. So then, then we're listening to the other scores, and the winning score of the whole thing was an 8 under par. And I don't know how they shot an 8 under par. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I know 3 of the guys on that team, and by all accounts, they're not. I mean, they're decent golfers, but I mean, to shoot 8 under par in those conditions with 4 guys on your team is pretty damn impressive. Like, you can't miss a shot. So
well, you're not 4-putting any holes.
Absolutely not. Like, I mean,
and again,
you're seldom bogeying. You're seldom bogeying.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. I mean, and then there was, I think, a couple. I want to say the pro shop team with Wayne and Connor and those guys. I think they shot 7 under, and then but I mean, they had 2 semi-professional golfers on their team, and then I think there's a couple groups that were like, there's one group that was like 4 or 5 under, and then I think everybody else was like close to par.
But I think if we were to do this tournament again next year, I think we would have the same 4.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't we? Like, I mean, Megan started drinking after. She's like, "Yeah, you've got my drives in. Do you need anything else for me?" She's like, "My jobs are done. Can I just sit here and drink?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure. Like, you've contributed what we needed you to contribute."
I think we would guarantee bring Megan back, but we might have to find another ringer to replace Darren, though.
Yeah, he's got to learn how to swing his driver a little bit again. He's needs a little bit more practice. Get off the baseball diamond and into the golf course a little bit more.
There you go.
Right?
I like that idea.
He's got that baseball swing going these days. But I mean, as a first experience for the Ironman tournament, awesome, super fun.
Again, another experience, great experience. Same thing with the club championship. That was fun.
Yeah.
And again, these first experiences for us are, our season is over now, and it's going to be a long winter. It really is going to be a long winter.